Penny Arcade's On the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness 4 is a 16-bit role-playing game developed by XBLIG Games and features lots of turn-based combat, monster collecting, exploration, and memorable characters. The story so far of Rain-Slick is that Tycho and Gabe ran a detective agency and now it's gone, as well as basically everything else. A man called Dr. Blood assembled the piece of the Yogg-Madar, the god of doors, and that led to the destruction of the world. Thankfully, Tycho planned for the end of the world. He placed his niece in a pocket of space just outside of existence so that when the next universe is created, it would be based upon his niece. Unfortunately, the world may have been destroyed, but one god remains and you must venture forth and destroy that god in order to successfully reset the universe. He lives in Underhell, so you must explore through Underhell and find that god and put a stop to him. So, the story is pretty insane, that's true. But onto the gameplay. If you've played XBLIG Games' other titles like Cthulhu Saves the World, you'll feel right at home with how this plays. It features a lot of the same elements as their previous games, exploring a wide open overworld and then heading into towns to buy and sell items or talk to villagers, and it also has a turn-based combat system. But in order to fight the monsters of Underhell, you must fight fire with fire, and by that I mean you must fight the monsters with your own monsters that you collect throughout the game. But don't think this is some sort of Pokemon style game where you gotta catch them all. The monsters you get are given to you at set points in the game, so you don't really have a say in what monsters you can or cannot get. If you want to capture a Panda Duck fusion monster thing, then no dice. If the developers want you to use a vending machine against the horrible monstrosities of Underhell, then you're going to be using a vending machine. Although you are given quite a lot of monsters throughout the game, so you can swap out that vending machine for other monsters you are given, like this cute little robot. Oh, isn't that adorable? Oh, robot. Another aspect of the combat system is choosing who will train your monster. There are two protagonists throughout the game at any given time, and you can choose which monster will belong to which character. Depending on who owns the monsters will unlock new special abilities specific to that character or have access to a special power granted to them by that character. For example, if I was to give a monster to character A, they'll be able to use a buff spell to increase their damage, but if I give it to character B, they will be given a different spell to use instead of the buff attack. So it adds a bit of strategy in which monster should belong to which character. And it's very nice as that choice does have impact throughout the game, which plays out during combat. If you choose the right character, you could have a very easy time throughout the game. If you choose wrong, it'll be quite a bit more difficult for you. Now, with both the storyline and the gameplay out of the way, it's time to discuss the writing. The little moments, the bits of dialogue when in a town or reading a sign, that's what I really enjoy about this game. It's very funny and sometimes goes off the walls insane with musical pieces that are so good that I wouldn't dare spoil them for you, but just know it's a pretty fantastic moment. Sometimes the writing can get a bit, well, meme-like. Some of it reads as if it was directly ripped off of an advice animal post on Reddit. Like this description of a monster: has other clothes, chooses to wear this. Put a scumbag Steve hat on him and I wouldn't be surprised to see it on the front page of Reddit. So, take that how you like. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the meme humor. Another complaint I have with the game is that there is also a lot of downtime in this game. After finding out that you can keep running no matter what by pressing the back button on the Xbox controller, I don't think I ever walked again. There is just a lot of empty space where nothing is happening at all in the game. No monsters, no exploration, just linear pathways that feel a lot like padding. Speaking of padding, this game has a bit of that. Nearly every monster you encounter can't be avoided and is necessary in order to advance. While the combat is good, I got really bored of having to fight a bunch of monsters repeatedly, but I continued to do so anyway, just because if I didn't, I wouldn't get the next piece of funny dialogue from the game that I really enjoy. The game is fairly long. It took me about 7 hours to beat, and for a game this cheap, that's good value for money. Overall, I would recommend you pick up Penny Arcade's On the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness 4 if you are a fan of turn-based combat RPGs, or if you're a fan of Penny Arcade. And if you're a fan of the previous Precipice of Darkness game, then I don't even know why you're watching this, since it's pretty much more of the same, but with more polish. Thank you for watching, everyone. I have been RavenVal95, and you can purchase this game on Steam right now. A link to the Steam store page will be available in the description below. Precipice of Darkness 4 will also be available on Xbox Live Indie Games. And on that, GG.